Today, I've got something truly different for you. A chilling tale from a remote stretch of highway out west. They say every time you hit the road, especially at night, you should stay sharp, keep your wits about you. But what if the road itself has other plans? What if no matter how careful you are, something out there decides you're not leaving? This is the story of US Route 191, a lonely two-lane highway cutting through the high desert and forests of northern Arizona. Locals call it the Loop Road, or worse, the place where drivers disappear into the same stretch over and over. They say hundreds have crashed there over the decades, unexplained wrecks in perfect conditions. And the ones who survive? They talk about a figure that appears out of nowhere, a woman who makes you question everything. Buckle up. This one's going to stick with you. If you're enjoying this kind of creepy content, hit that like button right now if it gives you chills. Share it with a friend who loves horror, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a story. Seriously, it means the world. Every new subscriber feels like family joining the crew. And while you're at it, drop a comment below. What city and country are you watching from right now? What's the time where you are? Let me know. I read every single one. All right, let's get into it. Mike Harlan was a 42-year-old long-haul trucker with over 2 decades behind the wheel. He'd driven just about every major interstate from coast to coast. Interstate 40, I-80, the lonely stretches of I-10 through the southwest. He knew the rules. Check your mirrors, stay hydrated, never push past fatigue. But Route 191? That was new territory. He'd heard the rumors, hundreds of accidents, unexplained fog banks even on clear nights, drivers swearing the road bent back on itself. Mike figured it was just bored locals spinning yarns. Tonight he was hauling a refrigerated load of meat products from Flagstaff up to a distribution center near Page, Arizona. Easy run, 6 hours tops. He pulled onto 191 just after midnight, radio tuned to classic rock, windows cracked against the high desert chill. The rain started light, then turned heavy fast. Sheets of water hammered the roof of the cab. Fog rolled in thick, swallowing the yellow lines. Mike slowed to 35 miles per hour, high beams on, wipers slapping furiously. The road felt empty. No cars, no semis, no taillights for miles. He checked his GPS, still on track toward the Marble Canyon area. But something felt off. The mile markers seemed to repeat. 142, 143, then back to 142. He laughed it off, tired eyes playing tricks. He cranked the heat and turned up the volume on an old Eagles song. Then it happened. A flash of white in the headlights, a woman standing dead center in the lane, soaked, arms limp at her sides. Mike slammed the brakes. The truck skidded, tires screaming on wet asphalt. The impact was sickening. Metal thud against flesh. He sat frozen, heart pounding. Oh God, no. He killed the engine, grabbed his flashlight, and stepped out into the downpour. The road was slick and cold. Fog pressed in like a living thing. He approached slowly. The woman lay motionless. But as the flashlight swept over her, horror hit him. Her skin was gray and shriveled, like it had been underwater for years. Patches of flesh missing, exposing bone underneath. Eyes sunken, mouth frozen in a silent scream. She looked decades dead. Mike stumbled back, bile rising. This can't be real. He turned to run to the truck, but when he glanced back, the body was gone. Vanished. No blood trail, no drag marks. just empty road. Mike scrambled back into the cab, slammed the door, locked it. Hands shaking, he fired up the engine. In the rearview mirror, he saw her. Standing exactly where she'd been hit, same decayed form, staring straight at him. He floored it. The truck lurched forward, but the speedometer climbed slowly. 20, 30, 40. Yet the scenery didn't change. Same foggy stretch. Same mile marker 142. He was accelerating, but going nowhere. Panic set in. He remembered an old trucking buddy once mentioning something called a loop, a stretch where the road tricks you into circling the same spot forever. Drivers lose hours, days even, trapped until they break the pattern. Mike shook his head. No way. That's just stories. But the fuel gauge was dropping fast. He'd burned half a tank in what felt like minutes, yet the odometer barely moved. The radio hissed static. No stations, just white noise that sounded almost like whispering. He pulled over, or tried to. The shoulder looked the same as the road. He stepped out again, flashlight sweeping. Trees loomed where desert should be. Pines, thick and dark. No highway in sight, just forest. Endless. Then, his name. Mike. Soft, female voice from the trees. He spun. Nothing. Mike. Again. Closer. He backed toward the truck, heart hammering. Was it her? Or something using his mind? He climbed back in, reversed the truck. Something clicked. Maybe instinct. He drove backward, eyes glued to the mirrors. Slowly, the forest thinned. Asphalt reappeared. He kept reversing until the road felt right again, then shifted to drive. The fog lifted slightly. Up ahead, another set of headlights. A semi parked crooked, hazards flashing. A man stood beside it, searching the ground with a flashlight. Mike pulled up, jumped out. Hey, you okay? The other driver, mid-50s, weathered face, looked up, pale. You see her too? Mike nodded. The woman. Hit her. She vanished. Then the road. It looped. The man exhaled. Name's Ray. Same thing happened to me 20 minutes ago. She stepped out, I swerved. Thought I missed her. But now I'm stuck. Can't get past this stretch. They stared at each other. Two strangers. Same nightmare. Ray lowered his voice. They call her the Loop Woman. Been stories for years. Truckers say she picks drivers, traps them in the same mile over and over. Some never get out. You try anything? Mike shook his head. Just reversed till I found the road again. Ray nodded. Smart. But we gotta break it for good. Keep going forward won't work. It's like the road wants us to stay. They decided. Both trucks reversed together, side by side, using mirrors to navigate. Slow, steady. If one looped, the other could pull him back. They climbed in. Engines roared. Backward they went. Tires crunching gravel. The fog thickened, then parted. A curve appeared they'd never seen before. They held course. The mile markers climbed backward. 143. 144. Real progress. Suddenly, headlights ahead. Not theirs. An old roadside chapel, lit dimly, cross glowing. A small pull-off. They stopped. A figure stood outside. An older man in a jacket, waving them over. Not threatening. Calm. They approached cautiously. The man spoke softly. You boys saw her, didn't you? They nodded. He sighed. She's been here since the 70s. Young woman. Car wreck on this curve. Never left. She traps folks in the loop, makes them relive the moment forever. But past this chapel, the road straightens. She's bound to the stretch before it. You made it through. Mike felt the weight lift. So, we're out. The man nodded. As long as you don't turn back, keep going north, and tell others, don't drive this stretch alone at night. Ray clapped Mike on the shoulder. Thanks for stopping. I might still be circling if you hadn't. They shook hands. 2 survivors. They got back in their trucks, engines idling. Mike glanced at Ray. See you down the line? Ray grinned weakly. Only if it's not here. They pulled out together, heading north. The fog dissolved. Stars appeared. The road felt normal, solid, forward-moving. No loops, no whispers. Mike drove the rest of the night in silence. No radio, just the hum of tires. He thought about how close he'd come to vanishing forever, how the mind plays tricks, or how something else does. He never took 191 again. Switched routes. But sometimes, on quiet nights, he'd check his mirrors. Just in case. Ray? He told the story at truck stops for years, warned new drivers. Most laughed it off. Some listened. A few changed routes. The loop road stayed quiet, except for those who ignored the warnings. The highway itself, still there. US 191 through northern Arizona. Accidents still happen. Fog still rolls in. And every so often, a driver swears they saw a woman in white, standing in the middle of the lane, waiting. Mike never forgot. He kept driving, because that's what truckers do. But he always said a quiet thanks to whatever kept him sharp that night. And he never drove alone on empty highways without remembering. Sometimes the road doesn't let go easy. So that's the story of the loop road. Real or not, it reminds us. The open road can be beautiful, but it can also be unforgiving. Stay alert out there. And if you ever feel like you're going in circles, maybe it's not just in your head. Thanks for listening, guys. Drop your thoughts below. What would you do if this happened to you? Like, share,